Welcome to East 4x4, home of the Bob's Excursion, and today we are going to be installing a 2005 Redhead steering gear HD box into the 2000 Excursion. It's also the Bob's Excursion, but it is coil swapped, so it has a 2005 front axle underneath it, and I think that this is going to fix a lot of the steering geometry issues. So I've actually got it right now where the track bar and the drag link are not parallel. So when you hit a bump or anything like that, the steering wheel will bounce. And it didn't really affect it with small tires, but with 40s on it, it seems to be a real issue. It looks like this steering box, the way the pitman arm is, the pitman arm actually goes up from the box, and it's shorter. So it's going to bring that drag link into the place that it should be, which is awesome. First off, I want to talk about all the parts and tools you need. So, tools you are going to need. You're going to need a 9/16 drill bit. You are going to need a 46 millimeter socket for the new steering box pitman arm nut. You are going to need some crow's foot wrenches. I got the line wrench type, but I also got a set of normal ones too. I needed them both. And then those are just like the extra tools that you don't always use working on Excursion. You're going to need some of the other things, obviously, 18 millimeter and some other deals. And then for parts, you are going to need the steering box. You are going to need the bolts that hold the steering box to the 05 frame. So I found them on eBay, 05 Ford steering box bolts. And then you are going to need this line. You're going to replace this. It is part number from Napa, 7-3559. I'm going to put a link to all of this stuff down in the description. And yeah, if you buy through that link, you support me, and that would be awesome. And then get yourself all settled together, and then you'll have a lot easier time than what you're about to see in the video. Let's get rolling with the video. I want to shout out Redhead and Diesel Power Products right now. They did a giveaway earlier this summer, and they actually gave away a power steering box and some credit to Diesel Power Products. And I was lucky enough to win that. So this is a huge, huge thanks to Diesel Power Products and Redhead Steering Gear for getting together and doing a giveaway, helping guys like me. Redhead Steering Gear I've worked with before, and they are just some of the nicest people. Diesel Power Products, I have worked with them a ton, and they are always willing to look up whatever I need and help me find something. And yeah, those two companies are two of the best in the business, I believe, and so I'm going to continue going to them and continue telling you guys about them. So anyway, let's get to tearing this thing apart and let's see if we can get this box in here.
I lied. I have one more thing to show you. I want to show you guys this angle and stuff right now. So that's about as level as I can get the camera, but you can tell that if the drag link went up a little bit, that would make it a lot more parallel with the track bar. So I'm hoping with the shorter box, and you can see that's got a pretty good kick from the bolt out to here. It kicks the pitman arm down, and the new arm does not go down hardly at all. So it's shorter, it's going to interfere. See how close this is? This is the factory 2000 box to the sway bar and all that stuff. And it actually, the steering stabilizer rubs on the lower radiator hose, and so this should deal with a lot of clearance issues that I've been having. So if you're doing the coil swap, I would suggest doing a steering box as well. So just taking a look in the engine bay here, the V10 definitely has a lot more room to do this steering box than the 7.3 does. So the steering box, you can actually see the top of it right down there. If I can get you into a decent spot with the phone, it's this rust bucket right there. That's the steering box. So you've got a little plastic cover that goes over the steering input shaft thing, so that plastic cover needs to pop back, and then you got 2 lines and the 3 bolts into the frame that are right there. Are those 3 bolts. So those are the holes I need to do bigger. The reservoir is external on the V10 versus on the pump. So we're gonna keep going here and see if we can't get this box out.
Alrighty, well, I have got the original box out, and I do have to say the V10 is, there's a lot more room in the engine bay of the V10 to get that out of there. A couple of the lines, one of the lines did break. Good news, it's the line I'm replacing, so that's pretty great. And yeah, let me show you guys the boxes side by side here. Alright, there's the new box. There's the old box, just in case you really couldn't tell. I mean, geez, they look so similar. Yeah, so I'm already ported for hydro because the idea on this truck is to run hydro, but we're not going to do that yet. We got to drill the frame still. We got to pull the old hose off of the pump, put the new hose onto the pump, and then we can put the new box in. So it's coming along. Nice to have a lot of room in this engine bay. I think in a 7.3, you'd want the inner fender out. Well, alrighty. So the power steering line to come off of the power steering pump is not easy. This is the part you got to take off. It is an 11/16. You really need a crowfoot wrench, and then I actually, you can see, grinded this side down so it fit into the pulley to get it off. I'm gonna see if this won't go back up in there. It looks different, but it did come with a new O-ring, and so I'm gonna put the O-ring on it and slide this up in there and see what it looks like. Well, as you just saw, I've been successful at the two things you need to do to make sure that you can fit a new box. Drilling the holes bigger and putting the line on. On a V10, that line goes to the pump. I think on a diesel, it might go to the hydro. I don't really know. I read online that it was going to go to the hydro. So maybe that's the hydro pump. Maybe I'm calling it the power steering pump, but it's the hydraulic pump. I don't know. Anyway, buy yourself a 9/16 drill bit. I'm going to put a link to one in the description. But save yourself tons of time and just get yourself a nice 9/16 drill bit and take 3 minutes and drill it bigger. Don't try it with other bits that are old and not sharp, and you know, it's just not worth it. I tried that and it's not worth it. So anyway, bought myself a 9/16 bit, went right through it after fighting with other bits, and now I am ready to hold this box up there and I can't get this sucker in there. So here we go. Do you remember when I was just talking to you and I told you I'm gonna throw the box in? That was before I realized this is a monster of a nut. I do not have the size for this. I don't even know what it is. I'm gonna get my calipers out. Let's see what it is. That there is a 45 millimeter nut. I'm gonna go double check that at the store when I get it. I will let you guys know exactly what I buy, but that's a big boy. All right, well, I am done for the day. I already told you guys the right part number for the line, but I had the wrong part number for the line that I originally started this video with. So it had too much metal on it. So if you are buying one of these, make sure it doesn't have, this is like 16 inches or so of metal line, and I could probably bend it and do it around, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to get the right line, give you guys the right part number. Hopefully Amazon has the part number. Everything's going to be in the description. Remember all that. So this is a project. We're retrofitting something that is not supposed to be on a vehicle. So expect it to be a project, but it is possible, it seems like. The box is in the truck now, and the other line to the cooler is back on. So we are making progress here, but I'm working on the line from the power steering pump to, so it's the pressure line. So the power steering pump to the box. And that is the line that we've got to change. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a great one. Alrighty, well, I am back out here this morning, and I believe that I have acquired the right power steering hose. So here it is. It is Napa part 7-3559. Right there for you. And we're going to open this up and see if this is not our trick right here. So wish me luck. Alrighty, well, I've got it all installed here. I turned where I don't look terrible in the light. And
yeah, everything went good. Those are the correct hoses, those second ones that I gave you, or that second one hose. I ended up replacing the one to the cooler too because I was there, so I might as well replace one. Really should have replaced them all, but Napa didn't have them all in stock. So we're gonna see if we have any leaks and stuff. I've got the bleeding process going. Redhead has the bleeding process on their website, and you should just do it exactly what they say. It's fill it, turn it to back and forth 20 times with it off, and then let it sit. And so anyway, I am about to start it and see if I have any leaks. And yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more in just a minute. All right, so yes, the steering shaft from a 2000 Excursion bolts right onto the 05 box. The line that goes from the box to the cooler is this one down here, and that is the original Excursion line. And yeah, so I'm gonna put that plastic cover back on, start this puppy up. Also, I told you guys that I would update you on how much fluid it used. It ended up using a whole 2 quarts. It even needs just a little bit more. That's the V10 setup. I drained pretty much everything because I replaced out of their cooler line and stuff like that. So it needed 2 quarts. Dex 3 is what Redhead recommends, and that's what I put in it. Alrighty, well, I just finished installing the Redhead 05 to 07 HD box. Now, this box is not on their website if you look up 2005 Super Duty. You need to either call them. I haven't found it on the website, and I think that they're trying to get it to where it shows up again, but it hasn't. So you need to call them if you want this HD box. What it is a bigger sector shaft and more fluid ability and stuff like that. It's an HD box. It's a beast. So I just finished installing that, and I wanted to go over what I needed to buy. So the box itself, I needed to buy bolts for a 2005 Super Duty box because they are bigger than the 2000 to 2005 Excursion bolts and Super Duty from 99 to 04. I needed to buy a 46 millimeter socket because the nut on the pitman arm on this was way bigger than anything I had. I had to buy some crow's foot wrenches because the line on the bottom of the power steering pump was not possible to get to with a normal wrench. So a standard set of crow's foot wrenches. I got the ones that go around, like a line wrench essentially, but I also got a set of the normal ones because it was easier to get those on and off. So I just bought 2, so I had them. And then the other big thing is this power steering line, which is Napa part number 73445. And those are the big thing. I also got a pitman arm to match because I have 05 suspension. My drag link bolted right into that. If you still have the 04 suspension or older Super Duty suspension, you're going to have issues with that upper ball joint, and I don't really know how to help you on that. This is for me because I have 05 suspension. I wanted an 05 box because I knew it was stronger. The 05 box does bolt right up to the steering shaft, as I showed. The other line, factory line, does go right into the box. So other than that, wasn't too bad. I did this swap on a V10, so I needed the hose that I got. I don't know exactly what hose you would need for a 7.3 or a 6 liter, but that's the hose that worked for me with a V10. I believe it's the same hose that's supposed to work with the diesels, but don't hold me to that because mine's a V10. I have driven it now. The box definitely feels tighter. Redhead told me when I got the box from them that it might need an upgraded power steering pump because the pumps on the 2005 Plus are actually better. I know that I'm going to need an upgraded power steering pump here at some point soon, and so it does feel a little bit tight, but it actually works easier. So I couldn't hardly turn it stopped on pavement before I put this, and now I can turn it on pavement or in reverse and stuff like that on pavement. So that's good, but I am definitely, it's stiff. So I have this thing ported like I showed because I'm going to do hydro, and so this is going to get a bigger pump and hydro still. But for now, this is set up just the way it needs to be. Anyway, hopefully this video wasn't too boring for you guys. If you're looking at doing a 05 to 07 steering box swap into your older Excursion or Super Duty, not too big of a job, especially when you have all the parts linked down below in the description. And you support me by buying them all. Yeah, you should do that. But anyway, yeah, I ran back and forth to the store a bunch, and so I lost a bunch of time. But if you have all these parts sitting on hand, you should just be able to bolt this thing in, and it works awesome. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you got some value from this and you want to support the channel, you should totally subscribe. And if you'd like to see more Bob videos, definitely subscribe. Yeah, this is a Bob Excursion, just in case you wanted to know. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.